We are meant to call from out of the past stories, strange and weird.
Tales of mystery and terror by radio's masters of the macabre.
Stories of the supernatural, the supernormal, dramatized like fantasy, the mystery, the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginary plays, we urge you calmly and sincerely to turn off your radio now.
Today on The Horror, we'll hear from Dark Fantasy, an NBC series that aired from November of 1941 to June of 1942, produced 31 episodes. Our story today is from January 9th, 1942. It's titled The Curse of the Neanderthal.
Dark fantasy.
I am the Neanderthal man.
Operator? Are you there, operator?
She's probably gone out for a spot of tea.
Or a date with one of the music hall boys.
You people be quiet.
Isn't she pretty when she's excited, Hayes?
Oh, quiet.
Operator. Operator.
Why would anyone be so anxious to call one's sister anyway?
I can't for the life of me imagine.
Will you two please go take a walk or something? Operator, are you there?
You could write your sister a letter, you know, instead of trying to call her long distance.
I'd probably get in touch with her sooner. Are you there, operator? Oh, I had her on the line just a moment ago.
Now, if it were her young man she were calling, I'd know why she's so very anxious.
I say, old man, it so happens I am the lady's young man.
Oh.
Well, I'll have nothing to do with either of you if you don't stop teasing me.
My dear girl, you really want to get that call through to your sister?
Oh, no, I'm just standing here jiggling this receiver for the exercise. Ajax says it's good for the arm muscles. Operator, will you please answer?
Here, old girl, let me have a try.
Reggie, go away. Don't bother me.
Permit me, milady, to assist you.
No, Reggie.
One side now, one side.
Reggie, this call's important.
Just why I'm so anxious to help you. Now, look here, operator. We've been trying... Huh? What's that? Oh, operator. Yes, into a telephone transmitter, but if... I say now, look here, my girl, if you want...
Give me that receiver.
But, Mandy...
Are you there, operator? Yes, I wish to place a call. We were disconnected. This is Amanda Loveland. Yes, at Lookout Point. That's right, the artist colony. I wish to speak to Miss Grace Loveland, number 12, Garrett Street, London. Yes, that's right. How soon can you get through to London, please? Very well. Will you call me back? Thank you.
There, you see? The damsels always come running when a gentleman calls.
Oh, Reggie, save your humor for some other time, will you?
I say, something wrong, old girl?
I don't know.
Why do you use that tone, darling?
Well, look here, Amanda. Nothing wrong with your sister, is there?
No, it's not that.
But something's wrong. I can tell by the way you've been acting.
Yes, you were certainly never in such a hurry to call Grace before.
I'm anxious to know where she was today.
Where she was?
Yes. She was supposed to be attending a tea party in London, but, well, I've reason to think she wasn't there.
Well, so suppose she wasn't. Why should that upset you?
Perhaps if I tell you, you'll understand.
Yes. Something's wrong. I certainly want to know about it.
Yes, Amanda, by all means, tell us what's troubling you.
Yes, I must tell somebody. Reggie, will you please close the door?
Well, certainly, darling.
Now, Amanda, sit here.
No, I'd rather not sit down.
Say, you are upset.
Yes. I had the strangest experience this afternoon.
You did? Where?
In Nano Canyon.
So that's where you were today.
No wonder we couldn't find you. Reggie and I wanted you to go up to the falls with us.
I went into the canyon to paint.
Well, we gathered you were off somewhere working.
I noticed your equipment wasn't around any place.
You've been there, haven't you, in the canyon?
Oh, not I. I've been planning to go there, though.
Oh, I've been a couple of times.
Why didn't you tell me you were going into Nano? Why, go along.
There's only one way into the canyon from this end, you know.
Yes, near Flagstone Point. It's 12 miles to the other end.
Well, I arrived at Flagstone Point about noon. So I climbed down the path and picked out a shady spot in the canyon to eat the lunch I'd taken along.
Yes?
After that, I looked around a while and then picked out a scene near the entrance to the canyon.
To paint?
Of course, to paint haze.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, dear.
It was a perfect scene. The light was just right, so I spent most of the afternoon there until the light began to fade.
Did you finish the sketching?
Yes. Filled in a great deal of the color. It was really going to be quite good.
What do you mean, going to be?
I'll never finish it.
Why, dear?
Because I never want to go back there again.
Well, what on earth happened?
Oh, why doesn't that operator get that call through to London?
Amanda, tell us what happened in the canyon.
Yes, for heaven's sake, this suspense.
What happened was like a nightmare.
Darling.
Yes, like a nightmare. Just as I was getting ready to pack up my things, I heard a noise behind me. A low, rumbling noise. And when I looked around, I saw that a side of the canyon was caving in.
My word, landslide?
Yes. The whole side of the canyon was falling away, making a terrific noise about it. Left a sheer vertical cliff there. It had been sloping before.
Yes?
Right where the only path down into the canyon had been.
You mean you were trapped there in a canyon?
I certainly was. With night coming on. And you know the stories they tell around here about Nano Canyon.
Yes, they say the place is simply oozing with ghosts at night.
Oh.
No, really, Reggie. The place does have a reputation.
Oh, I've heard the stories, but you don't want to believe everything you hear, you know.
Well, how on earth did you get out of the canyon, Amanda?
And I had a beastly time of it.
Did you get out before dark?
I certainly did not. As soon as I saw that the path was cut off from the land side, I started walking along the side of the canyon, trying to find a way out.
But there are no others.
Didn't I find that out? I walked and walked, and all the time it was growing darker and darker, and finally the sun went down, and a ghostly gloom settled over the canyon. I began to walk faster, but I couldn't find any place that looked like a way out. I've walked for miles. No way out of here. Dear, it's so dark. All I can do is keep walking. Oh, what's that? Oh, some night bird. Yes, that's all. Such a weird sound. I've never heard anything like it before. Heaven, it's gone. That's strange. That bird was the only noise I've heard in this place. No other night noises at all. Good heavens! What's that up there? Light. Shining on a human figure. Am I losing my mind? It's Grace there in the light. Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Grace! Grace! It is Grace standing there in that strange glow of light. Pointing. Gesturing as though trying to show me a path out of here. Yes. Yes, she is directing me out of the canyon. The light. I can see the way out. Grace? Grace, is that you? Is that you, Grace? Oh, no, don't go! The light's fading away. She's gone. There's still that strange light shining on the way out of this awful place.
To tell us there actually was a path leading up out of that canyon?
How else do you suppose I got back here?
Amazing.
That strange light continued to glow until I found the path and managed to climb up. When I looked back, it was pitch dark in the canyon again.
Amanda, are you certain you didn't dream all of that?
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Reg.
No, I don't think it was a dream.
What makes you say that?
Oh, well, it must be London. Are you there? Yes? Yes, this is Amanda Loveland. Yes, ready for my call to London, thank you. Are you there, Grace? Darling, this is Amanda. Oh, fine, thank you. Darling, have you been in London all day? Oh. Oh, no, nothing's wrong. Oh, no, don't worry, dear. Everything's all right. Yes. I may be coming to London soon. All right, darling. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, dear.
Huh?
Grace has been in London all day.
Surely.
There in the canyon in that strange light, I saw her as plainly as I see you now. But the voice wasn't hers.
And how are we going to account for what happened?
There is only one way to account for it.
You mean... Hey, you think you know what happened to me?
I think so. You were guided out of that canyon by a swarf.
A what?
A swarf. It's a name commonly applied to a supernatural spirit with the power of impersonating some earthly being.
Impersonating, you say?
Yes, there's no explanation. Except that swarfs have often been seen in these parts. Now, this particular spirit took the earthly shape of your sister and helped you find a way out of your temporary prison.
No, I don't believe such things happen, Hayes.
Well, you'd certainly believe it if you'd experienced it like I did.
Yes, Reggie, you're wrong. Those things do happen. Swarfs do appear in this vicinity.
But that's weird.
Well, it certainly is. See one's sister appear in a place in the darkness and speak in a voice, and then to learn she was actually hundreds of miles away at the time.
Amanda, is this the landscape you were doing?
Oh, yes.
Mind if I have removed the cover and have a look?
Oh, no, go right ahead. Just as I left off, I was passing up.
Here, Hayes. You better let me give you a hand. If you spoil one of Amanda's paint, she'll... I say,
Look, Amanda. Have you seen this since you left the canyon?
No. No, I told you I haven't.
look at it. There in the right-hand corner.
A strange, monstrous-looking creature. Lurking in the shadows.
Amanda, were you conscious of the fact you were painting that fantastic creature into the picture?
No. No, I wasn't. I hadn't even noticed it.
That's very strange.
Yes. Isn't it?
If your perspective is correct, Amanda, that creature is about 8 feet tall.
A huge, fiendish thing.
But how did it ever become a part of my painting?
Yes. How?
Well, we'll find out.
What do you mean, Hayes?
We'll go down into the canyon and have a look.
No, no, not me.
Oh, I mean tomorrow, of course. When it's daylight.
How much farther, Amanda?
We're practically there.
What amazes me is that you couldn't find the way the swarf pointed out to you last night, Amanda.
I'm sorry, Hayes. It doesn't seem to be there today.
Oh, well, what's the difference? Didn't take us long to come in from the other end of the canyon on horseback.
Yes, the only thing that annoys me is that we couldn't ride the animals all the way.
Oh, well, the walking won't hurt you. Besides, we've only been afoot a few hundred yards.
Oh, here we are. This is the spot I was painting. I set up my canvas over there on that little mound.
Then, according to the sketch you made, that fearful creature was lurking about here.
Reggie, look here.
Bones. Human bones. Down there in that crevice.
Oh, I say, those can't be human bones.
No, they're much too large.
I should say so.
You're wrong, both of you. They are human bones. I've studied anatomy enough to recognize the clavicle, humerus and ulna of the human arm. And the femur and fibula of the leg there.
Joe, he's right.
This was some gigantic prehistoric creature. Heaven knows how many years old.
Could this skeleton have any connection with the ghostly figure in my painting?
It could, yes. It's just possible that the spirit of this prehistoric man is himself a swarf.
And can take on a human shape. The spirit, I mean.
Precisely. He saw Amanda sitting there on that mound, painting. He assumed a shape she couldn't make out, but one which her professional brush caught in the sketching.
Then he could have assumed the form of my sister.
If our theory is correct, yes.
That's fantastic.
But how can we learn anything about this thing that was buried here in this crevice?
There's one way I know of. We can consult Dr. Gustav.
By Jove, you're right. Dr. Gustav's staying at the colony.
Well, then let's go get him and bring him here.
Yes, let's. Who knows? We may have discovered something entirely unknown to our civilization.
Well, Dr. Gustav?
Yes. Your suspicions were correct, my friends. These are human bones.
Can you identify them, Doctor?
I most certainly can. This was a Neanderthal man.
Neanderthal? Well, the Neanderthal man existed thousands of years ago.
True, Miss Loveland. From 20 to 40,000 years ago.
There's no mistake about it?
Not the slightest. This is the fossilized remains of an ancient man. Here, look. Look at these peculiarly shaped molar teeth. Now, that's one sign. Every bone of his body shows some distinct markings. Many of them are of simian nature.
Ape-like, you mean?
Exactly. Eyebrow ridges were like those of the gorilla. The roof of the skull was low like theirs. And yet, his brain most probably surpassed the modern Europeans in size and ability.
How long ago did you say he existed?
The date of his culture may be put down tentatively as extending from 40,000 to 20,000 BC. The Neanderthal man appears to have been the sole occupant of Europe during the middle of the Pleistocene period, throughout the time in which the Mousterian culture prevailed. He buried his dead with great signs of respect. He worked flint implements with great skill. He was a fine hunter. Lived in caves and rock shelters.
But, Doctor, after all this time, his remains should be quite deep in the earth.
I know. And he undoubtedly has been buried deeply through the centuries. But some subterranean disturbance must have caused this crevice and exposed his burial place.
Look. Did you men see this?
What, dear? A stone tablet.
There's some sort of strange pictures on it.
Let me see, please. Yes, just so.
What is it, Dr. Gustav?
Why, this is the final proof. This is the picture writing of the Neanderthal man.
Can you decipher it?
I can, indeed. And now, let's see, this portion here, my left, that's indiscernible, but the rest of it reads, "Who moves my bones will surely die as I have died."
A curse.
Well, then, let's take his advice and leave him alone.
Oh, not on your life, sir. Why, this is one of the most amazing finds of the century. These bones must be removed to the museum and reconstructed.
But the warning on the stone tablet.
Oh, nonsense. Miss Loveland, nonsense. Do you think a curse can continue to exist through 40,000 years? 400 centuries? Oh, no.
The museum. Ever been here before?
Once, when I was a child. Uncle Reginald brought me.
How long has it been since the Neanderthal man was brought here?
Oh, at least 6 weeks.
Well, Dr. Gustav said in his letter that the man had been completely reconstructed. The skeleton had been placed in a standing position in a special room.
There's the room, see?
Oh, yes. The sign over the door. The Neanderthal man.
Let's go look before we visit the doctor, shall we?
Right. Hey, here we are. The door was open. Why? But this room is empty.
Yes. But there's a stone base over there. There's thing might have been built up on it.
That's strange.
I beg your pardon.
Yes, what is it?
I am called Vaneth. Could you direct me to Dr. Gustav's study?
Oh, why, yes. It's at the end of the hall. See, his name is in black letters on that frosted door pane.
Oh, yes. I thank you so very much. Pardon me for having disturbed you.
Reggie.
Amanda, that man, Joe, what a giant. At least 8 feet tall.
Those bushy eyebrows and low far, he looked like an ape.
And what was wrong with his neck? He held his head crooked over to one side. One shoulder humped up in a terribly grotesque position.
Did you see whether or not he went into the doctor's office?
No, I didn't.
Reggie, if I didn't know better, I'd think that man was...
Was what, dear?
Nothing.
I know what you're thinking.
That warning, Reggie. Who moves my bones will die as I have died.
Amanda, look.
What?
There in the room, on the stone base, the skeleton of a prehistoric man.
But it wasn't there just a few moments ago.
Good Lord, come on, into the doctor's office.
Dr. Gustav!
Dr. Gustav! Dr. Gustav! Good heavens.
Oh, Reggie. What's happened to him?
He's dead. Broken neck.
He was sitting at his desk, writing.
Writing a report on the Neanderthal man. Look. It just completed one sentence. It is my finding that the death of the Neanderthal man discovered in Manoff Canyon was caused by a broken neck. Dark fantasy.
The Curse of the Neanderthal. Another original tale of dark fantasy, written by Scott Bishop. Ben Morris was heard as Reggie, Eleanor Naylor Corrin was Amanda, Murillo Schofield was Hayes, Fred Wayne played Dr. Gustav, and Darrell McAllister was Bennett. Next Friday night at the same time, we'll bring you another story of the fantastic and the unusual, created by Scott Bishop. Listen for Death from the Past, a strange, weird adventure laid in modern America with the flavor of the 19th century. The story of a businessman who was almost too honest and who found a method of paying a long-standing debt of honor, although 30 years in his grave. Dark Fantasy originates in the studios of WKY, Oklahoma City. Tom Paxton speaking. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
That's it for this episode of The Horror. Be sure to come back next Saturday for our next installment. Between now and then, you can find more from Dark Fantasy, past episodes of this show, thousands of other old-time radio episodes, all the other podcasts, and our Shoutcast stream at relicradio.com. If you'd like to help support this and all of the shows, visit donate.relicradio.com or click on one of the links on the website. Your support is how all of this is made possible. Thanks to those who have helped out. Thanks for joining me today. Be back tomorrow with an episode of Strange Tales, and next week with another episode of The Horror.
Strange Tales.
RelicRadio.com presents tales of the strange and bizarre, the weird and the wicked. Stories not necessarily of the supernatural, but of the unnatural. Join us now for Strange Tales, featuring radio drama at its most mysterious and unusual. Welcome back to Strange Tales. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to hear from The Whistler this week. Series that debuted in May of 1942 over CBS radio stations, aired until September of 1955, produced almost 700 episodes. Our story today is from December 19th, 1943. It's titled Death Demands a Payment.
The Signal Oil Company is bringing you The Whistler. Today we will tell you a tale of avarice and greed, the awful price John Hendricks paid for selling his soul to the devil. The story of Death Demands a Payment. But first, if you'll bear with me for a moment, I'd like to make a suggestion about your car, because right now it's a very valuable possession. One you won't be able to replace until 6 months or a year after the war. Keeping your present car running is dependent on current lubrication, more so than most people realize. When you leave your car anywhere handy and just, say, grease it, you're likely to find later that certain hard-to-find lubrication points have been missed. And in these times, even minor repairs can lay a car up for days. If lubrication fails on parts you can't repair or replace, then you're really out of luck. Doesn't seem worth that much worry, does it? Especially when getting acquainted with a convenient signal dealer can relieve you of it. He knows his stuff, uses the auto manufacturer's own lubrication chart in taking care of your car. In fact, checks every lubrication point twice. You see, he's not just an attendant, but an independent businessman in his community, with a genuine interest in keeping his customers' cars in service. I think you'd find it pleasant and profitable to have him count you as one of his regulars. So stop by next week for a really correct lubrication job, or anything else on which your signal dealer can help you out. I believe you'll thank me for the tip. And now?
I am the Whistler. And I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales, many secrets, hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak. A huge, sprawling stone structure surrounded by high gray walls appears against the storm-lashed, lightning-streaked night sky. The state penitentiary. In a cell in this dismal building sit two men. One is John Hendricks, a man of 60, a lifer, sentenced 10 years ago for the murder of his wife and stepson. Murdered Martha and her simple-minded son for the $10,000 she kept hidden in the big house on the outskirts of town. John's cellmate is one Bill Smith, otherwise known as number 1014. Bill has changed in the 5 years he's been here. He's decided to go straight, if he ever gets out. Bill Smith started reading here, reading philosophy and so forth. Bill Smith has changed, but John Hendricks hasn't changed. Not Hendricks, because he has a plan. He has a clever plan in mind.
Well, all I got to say, Bill, is that I think you're crazy not to make the try with me.
It's a matter of opinion, Hendricks.
It's all fixed. Not a chance of a slip-up.
Don't tell me you got the break fixed with the wood.
What difference does it make who it is, so long as the whole thing is set?
Hendricks, I think you're nuts. They're crazy.
Yeah? I'm getting out of this place. I got a reason, a good reason. I got something waiting for me outside. Something that belongs to me. I'm the only one that knows where it is. And I'm getting out of here. You're in here for a long time, Bill. If you don't want to make the try with me, you can stay and rot.
Suppose you do find this money hidden away in the old lady this time. What good will it do you? You killed her and her stepson to get it, didn't you?
I did not. I didn't kill anybody.
Well, I say you did.
It ain't true. But I know where the money is.
Okay. You can break out. You can have the money, but... Well, I've done a lot of thinking and reading since I've been here.
Yeah. You've gone soft.
Maybe so. But this much I do know. If I ever do get out, I'll do things differently. Yeah. A lot.
You just got religion.
I got exactly what's coming to me. And believe me, Hendricks, so will you. You break out, they'll have you back one way or another. Watch and see.
Well, I'm going, so you watch and see. Just watch.
And now, another night, several months later. Another storm. A lonely country road. A car. The southern part of the state. That village we passed a few miles back. That silent, sleeping village was Marsdensburg. And that small stone building was the county courthouse. The courthouse where John Hendricks was tried and convicted for the murder of his wife and her simple-minded son, Henry. We're on the outskirts of town now. A young man is driving the old car, and there's a girl beside him. Motor trouble? There, just ahead, a light. Yes, it's a little crossroads store.
There's a light inside, George, but I don't see anybody. It's closed. We better drive on.
Yeah, I guess you're right, John.
Evening, Oak. There's trouble.
Well, we're having motor trouble.
That's so. What are you doing driving around on a night like this, huh?
We're on our way west.
Oh, mister, is there an inn or something around here where we can stay for the night?
Inn? There's a place about 8 miles up the road. They'll probably put you up. Sign on the left-hand side of the road. You can't miss it. This road's pretty bad, though, and rains. Gotta be careful. You'll find yourself walking.
Well, thank you. We'll try it. Good night.
Good luck, mister.
You'll need the luck.
The storm is increasing now. The little car lurches and bounces in its fight to keep the center of the highway. 2 miles, 3 miles, 4, maybe 5, and look, there it is, straight ahead. On the right side of the road, a blue light. That's it. Wait, George. Did the old man say on the right side or the left side of the road?
Oh, George, what's wrong?
Oh, I don't know. The distributor must have gotten wet.
Look, George.
What?
That blue light we saw. It's gone. Where is it?
Oh, We must have passed it.
Oh, we couldn't have. I was looking right at it. It seemed as though it just disappeared into thin air.
I'd better turn in here. This motor won't last much longer.
Oh, I guess so.
I can't see a thing, can you?
Oh, it's certainly a desolate-looking place. There must be a house back in there. Oh, there it is. There's the driveway 20 feet ahead.
Yeah. Well, this motor's about to conk out. We better drive in and see what we can find.
Yes, drive in, George. You'll find something. That's right. Through the gate. Make the curve. Hurry. There goes your motor. A little more. Now.
Oh, we just made it. Thank heaven.
Yes, that's right. Always thank heaven at a time like this. All right. Get out and go up on the porch.
Let me help you, Joan.
Oh, I'm all right. What do we do with the bags?
We leave them here until we find out if there's anyone here. Come on.
Do you see a bell?
No. I can't see a thing. Gee, this place looks completely deserted. I don't think anyone lives here.
I don't either. Oh, let's go.
Where till I get my flashlight? There. No, there's no bell that I can see. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is deserted.
Then why should they have a light on the road saying lodging?
That is strange, isn't it? But I wonder why it went out just as we reached it.
I wonder. Oh, George, let's don't knock. I don't like this place. Let's go on.
How? With a dead motor? Where could we go? No. I'll knock.
Well, all right.
Ah, that's right. Knock, George. Knock. Go ahead. Louder. Again.
We've just got to have shelter.
Yes, we can't stay in that car any longer. Can we?
No. Afraid not.
Here it comes. Now you're on your own, George. On your own.
There is someone.
Yeah?
Oh.
Good evening.
What is it?
Well, our car...
Yes, our car stalled. And...
We can't go any farther, and it's such a terrible night out that we thought we could stop here for the evening.
Stop here.
Why, yes, we saw your light and...
Light? What light?
Well, the blue neon out in front.
There is no light.
Your room?
Yes, there is a room.
Well, could we come in? I mean, well, it's awfully wet out here.
You may come in, if you wish.
Oh, thank you.
Gee, it's quite a relief. We were afraid you'd closed up for the night, especially when all the lights were out.
All the lights out?
Yes, you see. Huh?
Of course the lights are out.
Oh, I didn't know.
You do take tourists.
Do we?
Well, yes, that's what they told us.
Who told you?
The man. The old man at the little store back at the crossroad told us.
Little store?
Yes, at the crossroad about 5 miles back. You know where the crossroad is.
There is no store at the crossroad.
There isn't?
No.
Oh, I see. Well, look, madam, would you mind turning on the lights? I can't see a thing.
We have no light here.
No light?
Give me a flashlight, Joan. She means there's no electricity here.
No, there is no light here.
Throw the flash around. There must be a lamp.
No, don't make a light. We see well in the dark.
We? Who's we? Is there someone else in the house?
My son.
Oh, well, he's gone to bed.
He's standing beside you.
Beside who?
You. Son. Yes, Mother.
Oh.
Give me that flash.
You've got it. You've got it.
Oh, yeah. Gee whiz, how long you been standing here, Bub?
Since you came in.
That's all? Well, I didn't see you. You make a noise like a spook.
Who are you? What is your name?
It's George Kimball. This is my wife, Joan. We're on our way west as travelers.
Traveler.
So are we.
What?
Quiet, son, quiet.
No, let him talk. He's quiet enough.
How long have you folks been living here?
We've lived here all our lives.
Say, how about closing the door?
Is the door open?
Of course it is. What?
Oh, George.
Take it easy, Joan. Don't get excited. Look, madam, there's a candle on that table over there by the fireplace.
Is there?
Yes. And if you don't mind, I'm going to light it.
Please don't.
Wait a minute. If you want us to stay here, I insist that we have some light. You do want us to stay here, don't you?
Do we, son?
Yes, Mother.
What are you looking at me for?
Yes, Mother.
Without lies.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, George, let's go. I don't want to stay here tonight. This place doesn't look good to me.
There has been no good here for many years.
See what I mean, George?
I don't get it. You don't seem to want us, and yet your son does. How do you make any money that way?
We don't make money.
You don't? You mean you haven't had any guests lately?
No. Not for many years.
Well, can't expect any if you act like this.
But we do expect a guest. Don't we, son?
Yes, Mother.
He certainly has a surprise coming.
Yes, he has.
How many rooms have you?
There are many rooms, but only one.
Only one? Oh, now that doesn't make sense. Well, what do you mean?
Only one for guests.
Well, you mean only one equipped?
Yes.
Well, then, if you've got a reserve for this guest you expect, what are we going to do?
There is an inn farther along the road. They have rooms. They will take you. It will be best for us.
Yes, but our distributor got wet, so the car won't even run.
Where is your car?
It's right there at the foot of the steps.
I see no car.
You do? Why, it's standing right there.
George, where is it? It's gone.
Holy smoke, it is gone. But where and how? I didn't hear a sound. Oh, it must have rolled ahead.
Throw your light around.
Not a sign of it. Say, what goes on here?
Son.
Yes, Mother.
You moved the car.
Yes, Mother.
Why?
Him.
I understand, son. I understand.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Your son moved it? Well, how could he? The motor won't run, and even if he would. Well, we didn't hear sound.
No sound.
How'd you move it?
I don't know.
A fine thing. Here we are in a place where they don't want us and no way of leaving. Well, you've got us on your hands now. You have to make the best of it.
Oh, no, George. We'll leave.
Oh, nonsense. This is all silly. Now, come on. Let's have some light and cut the monkey business.
Wait, son. What have we decided?
Yes, Mother. We've decided yes.
Very well, if you wish. If you wish, you may stay. Stay
Until when?
All night?
Yes, Mother.
If you wish.
Well, that's better. Now, that's more like it. Now, I light this candle. There we are.
George, look.
Well, look at the dust and the cobwebs. This place looks deserted. Looks like an old cellar. Well, how about the room? Do we get it or the guest you're expecting?
There is another room that will do, perhaps.
Well, could we see it?
Uh-huh. By the way, how much do you charge?
We charge nothing.
You charge nothing?
Nothing.
Sounds silly, but it's a break for us. We're running short anyway. Let's see the room.
Very well. It is upstairs.
After you, ma'am?
No, you go first.
Very well. Come on, John. Bring that other candle.
Come, son, follow me.
Yes, Mother.
I never saw so much dust.
Right. They must like it, you know. Nice, clean dust.
That room at the head of the stairs.
Why, this room's well furnished. Is this the room reserved for your expected guest?
No,
But you said you only had one room furnished. Who sleeps here?
this is my room.
Was your room?
I stay here now.
Oh, I see. Or do I?
It's a nice soft bed.
It was always comfortable. We leave you now. Come, son, we must leave them alone now.
Yes, sir. Leave them alone.
Good night.
Good night.
You will lock your door.
Huh? Oh, yes. We'll lock it.
Goodbye.
Did she say good night? Or goodbye?
I don't know. I thought she said... She did say goodbye.
What a screwy outfit. Boy, I wish we hadn't had car trouble. That's what we get for trying to drive in the rain.
How much money have we left?
Not very much. Just enough to get to Los Angeles. The way I figure. But once we get there, I know there'll be a job for me. We'll make it. Don't you worry. You'll see me in a nice job in Hollywood.
I'm not worried about seeing you in Hollywood.
No?
No. I'm just worried about seeing you in the morning.
The same night, but later. It's midnight. Another car on the same road. You know who it is. It's John Hendricks. And you know where he's going. He turns in at our deserted mansion, up the driveway, and stops. He steps out, slips up the steps, opens the door, and throws his flash about the dusty room. The cobwebs glisten in the beam. A few moments, and the light comes to rest on the fireplace. He steps quickly to the mantel, draws a small hammer and a chisel from his pocket, and sets to work, removing a brick. Now he's finished. The brick is loose. He reaches in and withdraws a heavy yellow envelope. He starts to put it in his pocket, but suddenly freezes in his tracks. He can't move. He turns icy cold. Turn around, Hendricks. Turn around. Look. At the foot of the stairs across the room stands a woman holding a candle, and beside her a grinning youth holding an axe. Turn around, Hendricks. Look at their heads covered with blood. Turn around.
John Hendricks, murderer.
John Hendricks, thief.
Martha.
Yes, John.
Henry?
Yes, John.
No.
We'll come for you, John. The same way you came for us.
No.
We've been waiting for you, John. We knew you'd come back for the money.
No,
We've been waiting. We've come to save you, John.
No. Please don't come near me, please.
You must suffer, John, as we have suffered.
I've suffered.
Not enough, John. Not enough.
I didn't mean to do it. I didn't plan to kill you. I went mad. I lost my head. No. Don't come near me. You can have the money.
Then give it to us, John.
Please don't come near me, please.
Give us the money.
No, please.
You won't
have the money.
need it now. Come, son. We must have the money and we must take John.
There's the money on the floor.
No, money is not enough, John. Money is
Please don't
not
come here.
enough.
Oh,
Go
please.
ahead. We must take
Please,
John.
no,
Henry.
please. I lost my head. I lost my head.
Yes,
No,
sir.
you don't understand.
Yes,
No,
sir.
please don't come any closer. Don't come any closer. Please. No. No, I'll shoot.
Bullets won't stop us.
Oh, good Lord, George. What was that?
I heard a scream. It's downstairs.
So did I. And Sean.
I'll open the door. It must have been downstairs. I don't see a thing.
Here's your flashlight.
Great Scott. Look. The man down there on the floor. Come on.
He's dead.
Look at the gun.
It's been fired, but
I don't see a mark on him.
Oh, let's get out of
Oh,
here.
I'll say, come on.
No, you don't. Stand where you are.
George. Come.
What's going on here? Hand over that gun. Thanks. What are you doing here?
Why, we're stopping here. That is with us leaving.
I can see that. Know this man on the floor?
Know him? Oh, yes.
Joan, what's the matter with you?
Oh, no, we don't know him.
Take a look at him, Frank.
Yes, sir.
What are you two doing here?
Why, we're guests.
Yes, we're both guests.
Yes? Who's guest?
Why, guests, lodges, tourists, guests of the old lady.
What old lady?
The old lady who lives here. The old lady and her son.
Well, you'll have to cook up a better one than that.
What do you mean?
Drive here? Where's your car?
Why, the son took it.
Son? Old lady? What are you talking about?
They live here. They said they owned this place. We had motor trouble, and they put us up for the night.
What about him, Frank?
He isn't dead. Breathing. Looks like he had a stroke or something. Him all right. John Hendricks.
Take a look around, see if there's anyone else here.
Yes, sir.
You. What's your name?
George Kimball. This is my wife. We're on our way to California. You know who this man is?
Certainly. We've been on his trail. He's an escaped convict. Is your gun?
No, sir.
Did he shoot at you?
No, sir.
Well, this gun's been fired. We heard shots as we turned in the driveway. Ah. Look at the bullet holes near the ceiling. Hendricks probably missed whoever he shot at because of the stroke. Oh, Frank, what'd you find?
Not a sight of anyone, sir. Nothing but dust and cobwebs.
Oh. Look, Kimball. You said there was an old lady and her son here.
Why, sure. They were here all evening.
They're not here now.
Well, they let us in and showed us to our room. They certainly were here.
What did the old lady look like?
Well, she had gray hair and wore kind of a house dress and an apron.
What'd the boy look like?
Oh, he was a big kid. I'd say about 20, had a round, rosy face, and I think... In fact, I know he was kind of simple-minded. He had a strange laugh. Oh, yes, and he had red hair.
Well, I'll be darned. What do you think of that, Frank?
Golly, gives me the creeps.
Why so?
Do you know who you just described?
No.
The old lady and her son who used to live here.
Used to live here?
Yes, they were murdered here 10 years ago.
What?
Murdered?
Sure. This man on the floor was her husband, the boy's stepfather. He was tried for killing them with an axe and stealing her money in bonds. He got off with second degree because of lack of evidence. He escaped a week ago and headed this way. We've been on his trail ever since he entered this county. So you see, Kimball, if there was anybody else here tonight, it must have been a figment of your imagination. This house has been deserted for 10 years.
Oh, George.
Good Lord.
Look, Sergeant. I found this envelope on the dining room floor there.
Well, what do you know? The bonds. Old Martha Hendricks' bonds. That's why Hendricks came here. Look around. We'll probably find the money, too.
But where did they go, the old lady?
No place. Because they weren't here, Kimball. Well, we better get him out of here and back to headquarters.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't leave us.
We won't. You're coming along, too.
Why?
We'll need you for a day or two. Well, let's get going, Frank. Come on.
But where did they go? We saw them. We know they were here.
Well, you certainly described them to a T, but... Oh, don't worry too much about it. You know, things like this can drive you nuts. You know what I mean? Things like this... Well, things like this sometimes just happen. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh. Oh, come on. Let's go before I get the heebie-jeebies.
The Whistler will finish his strange tale in just a moment. While we're waiting for his explanation, here's an interesting statement from a military expert about the gasoline we're all doing without. If you've been to several gas stations and found them out, you'll appreciate it. This military authority says, quote, "We're fighting a war of engines. The side which keeps the most tanks and trucks rolling, the most planes flying, will win. This takes many more engines than we had to keep running in peacetime. And some of these military motors burn a gallon of gas a minute. The oil industry's job is to keep the fuel tanks of these engines full. It's a tremendous job. Oil men are doing everything they can to increase production. But over 53% of all the gasoline produced must now go into military use." Unquote. The Signal Oil Company brings you these facts so that when your signal dealer can't fill her up as he used to, you can better appreciate how the gallons you're doing without are helping carry us down the road to victory. Another way by which America's unequaled resources or winning this war. Now, the Whistler.
What was it the officer said? Things like this just sometimes happen? Just happen? Well, sometimes they do and can't always be explained. But not this time. Oh, no, not this time. This can be explained. Remember John Hendrick's cellmate, Bill Smith, number 1014? He can explain. He knows all about it because he planned it. Yes, he had learned all the dope from Hendricks, and he sent his pals, the phony spooks, to get the money when Hendricks recovered it. You see, he didn't want to hurt John. He wanted to scare him out of it. Remember? Bill 1014 said he had changed. He said he'd never do things the way he'd done them before. And he didn't. But he hadn't changed. I know. Next week, same time, I, the Whistler, will return to tell you another unusual story. Good night.
Original music for this production was composed and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. The Whistler, brought to you by the Signal Oil Company, is written and directed by J. Donald Wilson and originates from Columbia Square in Hollywood. Bill Pennell speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That's our strange tale for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot more from The Whistler at relicradio.com alongside thousands of other old-time radio episodes, all the other podcasts, our Shoutcast stream, and everything else Relic Radio. Don't forget while you're there, if you'd like to help support this and all of the shows, you can donate through the website. Your support is the only way all of this is made possible. And I thank you, as always, for those who have helped out. Thanks for joining me today. I'll be back next Sunday as we tune in to the sealed book for a story of a young girl stranded on Devil Island. That's next Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow with another Relic Radio science fiction episode. Thanks for joining me today. Talk to you then.